Hello, my lovely ones. It's really good to be with you. And this afternoon, I want to talk about a subject which a lot of light workers avoid because they don't know how to deal with it, and that is called psychic attack. Now, there are two forms of psychic attack. One is conscious and one is unconscious. And the way that I like to describe this is that the conscious psychic attack is happening when a being or a person projects energy at you, and an unconscious attack is when the energies affect you adversely, and that can be for many reasons. So we're going to start by me telling you why I'm talking about this. So the reason I'm talking about it is it's something that a lot of light workers don't know how to handle, and it's something which can have an absolutely debilitating effect, not just on your abilities, but if it goes on for a long time, also on your life. So just because you avoid something, let's say you found a lump in your body, just because you found something and you ignore it, it doesn't mean it would go away. And a lot of light workers seem to think that if they ignore something which is affecting them, that it will go away. I certainly agree that there is nothing more powerful than you, and you should absolutely not give your power away to anybody or anything else. But if something is affecting you adversely, ignoring it won't allow it to go away. So the first type of attack we're going to talk about is basically when the energies infiltrate your aura and affect you mentally, emotionally, and physically. So I've given lots of videos where I've talked about what psychic attack can feel like if it's affecting you emotionally or physically. But I want to tell you how it can affect you in the material world. So when you are being heavily affected either by the energies of where you work or the energies of where you live, or whether it is astral energy. So astral energy is simply the thoughts and emotions of the humans that you surround yourself with, and it is the effect that those thoughts and emotions have on you. If they're affecting you emotionally and making you feel drained, if you are feeling nauseous when you are in certain places or in the company of certain people, if you feel very headachy or very tired when you have been in a hospital or a doctor's surgery or even a supermarket, those are classic signs of unconscious psychic attack, where you're soaking up toxins that are not good for you. They affect what you think about yourself. They can make you feel paranoid. They can make you feel as though you're not good at what you do. And in extreme circumstances, the energies can actually make you physically ill. But I also want to go further than that, and I want to talk about if these psychic attacks of an unconscious, energetic nature carry on, what they can do to your physical life. So the first thing they can do is they can cause a wedge between you and your loved ones. If you have got a high level of toxicity energetically within your aura, I will tell you, it can prevent people from wanting to be close to you. I'm talking children, animals, spouses, parents, etc. Can also cause havoc with electrical items. So you may find that washing machines, computers, phones, cars all start breaking or dying or going wrong. You may find your internet connection is completely unstable. And it can also affect your balance. You can find yourself tripping over, hitting your head, catching your elbows. And in extreme cases, it can cause worse. So that's the unconscious psychic attack. Okay, so it's not an attack as such, it's just the effect that the energy is having upon you. Then we get what we call conscious psychic attack. And this is either being done by people that are alive or by beings that are not. So when it's being done by people that are alive, they're not meaning it to affect you in a psychic way. They may feel resentful, jealous, frightened, anxious, needy, alone, rejected, and because of that, they push their energy at you, and at certain times, they will use what we call energy cords. And at other times, they will actually send their energy into your mind, and they will send their energy into your heart. And when they do this, it is because they're scared and they're lonely. So responding by pushing them away is never the answer. Hi, Gail. I love you, darling. Yay! Damn, I'm still alive. So the way for you to tackle those things is with gentleness and kindness. And the fastest way to get rid of any psychic attack, whether it's from a living being or an entity, is to send love, is to send kindness. That is truly the best protection we have. So I want to go on a little bit further now, and I want to talk to you about being psychically attacked when you are asleep. And I want to go on to talk to you about loved ones who have psychic attacks occurring with them. Okay, so have you had a dream where you're trapped in a place and you can't get out? And the longer that the dream goes on for, the more characters, weird creatures, weird people that you meet. And what I always notice in these dreams is it's like a fairground or a school or a shopping centre, and I'm being bombarded. And the more that I move away from these creatures, the more take their place. And if any of you have ever watched the final Matrix, where Neo stops fighting Mr. Smith and there's like 50 Mr. Smiths, yeah, it's a little bit like that. And very often when you're being attacked within a dream, there'll be a very, very heavy smell, a weird, pungent smell. And it feels quite nauseating. Okay, so that's something that I will experience. The fastest way to help yourself is to move towards those beings and love them. And as you love them, they just disappear. So another thing that can happen in dream state when we are being attacked on the astral is we can come face to face with something called deceptive beings. And what deceptive beings do is they masquerade as something else, and you accept them, and then you realize at the last moment that they are not what they said or showed you that they were. So I woke up once and I had a deceptive being trying to be sexual with me, and it had a hand on my head, and automatically I just went like that and got rid of it. Another time I woke up, and when I say I woke up, I was actually in astral, so I was asleep. Another time I woke up and I had these two blue beings, and they'd got a vice round my head, And again, I just went like that, and I woke up for real, and they were gone. Another time I had a gigantic spider, and every time I went back to sleep, the spider got bigger and bigger, and it looked completely real. So again, and another thing that can happen is that you might find yourself romantically attracted to whatever this being is, right? It might show themselves as being a very handsome man or woman, and as you get closer, the face changes, right? They cannot hurt you. With these are not in your aura, so these are less harmful than the ones that can come into your aura. The ones that come into your aura are the ones that can cause issues during the day, and with children, and with health, and with cars, and all the rest of it. Hey, Shin, love you, darling. So, the ones that you encounter in the dreams stay within the dreams, and their only power is to make you feel paranoid when you wake up that you let something in. But the minute you wake up, even if you then go back to sleep and you have another dream like that, they can't touch you. All right. And lots of you are going to be experiencing these things, because as we get closer to, you know, the winter solstice, and the veil gets thinner, basically our psychic abilities ramp up, and you're going to see both sides. So then we're going to talk about the when you've got a loved one that is living with entities. So I'm going to give you my examples here. Two relatives of mine, one that's alive and one that's dead, lived with entities. Both of them were not easy people, and I know several of you will know who I'm talking about. And these were relatives, okay? One of them had so many entities, I couldn't even physically sit opposite them in a cafe. I would try, and I couldn't. If I walked near them, my body would just move away. It was weird. The other person has got lots and lots of entities with them, and the way the entities attach themselves to a living person, it can be if there's mental health issues, which is nobody's fault. And the other thing that happens is a lot of these entities are actually souls that either don't know they're dead or don't want to cross over. So we call them ghosts, right? They're just like ghosts. But they're a bit different from ghosts in the fact that ghosts don't want to hurt anyone. Entities feed on fear. They feed on stress. So what they do is they wander the astral planes, and the astral planes, there are different astral planes over different countries, and like in America there's astral planes over different cities and different states, because the energies between those states can be very, very different. So they wander the astral planes, and when they see someone whose energy is similar to theirs, they attach. So they can attach to people that have got issues with dependency. They can attach to people that have got illnesses. They can even attach to people that are special needs. And, you know, let's face it, they're very, very pure. So it's nobody's fault. If a loved one starts behaving in a very different way, or maybe they've always been like this, right? The truth is, if they've always got entities with them, like my relatives did, you're never going to change that, because the way that they live is in a way that allows those entities to be there, right? So if you're talking about a loved one, and mine is somebody I love very, very much, lots of entities with them, I just can't be around that person very much, even though I love that person very, very much. So we're not going to talk about faults, because it's not a problem for them. they have enough problems. Yeah. So really all you can do, you can't clear those entities if they've been with the person for a very long time. It's up to that person to move through their lessons that would then mean that the entities would have to leave. But if we're talking about somebody whose dependencies get worse, or their moods become worse, or they have mood swings, or they start acting in a very erratic way, or they start saying that, and obviously you've got to ethically encourage people to get help from wherever they need help from as well. But what we will say, what you can do, you can ask their higher self and Archangel Michael to work in tandem to clear whatever can be cleared, okay? So you don't have to try to clear them yourself. And I would strongly recommend, I'm just about to go into this in my mediumship group. We're doing spirit guide mediumship tonight, so we're excited about that. I would strongly recommend you don't try to clear a loved one, because if they've got quite dark beings with them, those beings will use the soul contract to jump over into you. So to give you an example, you get astral plane being creatures and entities. They're not very nice. You then get what we call Bahamut energy sources. Bahamut is a very, very dodgy, very, very old pagan deity. You've got demonic influences, and then you've got the real nasty ones which mess with people physically. If you have a loved one that's got anything like that, get a professional. Now, as we get closer to Halloween, I'm also going to talk about clearing your haunted house. And I'm going to talk to you about interdimensionals. And I'm not talking about interdimensionals as in the beings that we channel. I'm talking about lower interdimensionals that often get classed as poltergeist. So I grew up with one of those. I used to blame it for everything. So keep an eye out for that. I am also going to very, very soon be offering my Ascension Healings. And this is where I am clearing out anything which is preventing you from ascending. So I hope you've enjoyed this. It's just a quickie. As I say, quickies are often the best. I'm going to say bye to Facebook here. And on Saturday morning, I am here going to be looking at whatever is blocking you. So if you've been trying to manifest something and it isn't manifesting, whatever that is, I'm very, very happy if you turn up on Saturday morning to have a look for you. All I ask is that you like and share and comment on the post. Let me know what's not manifesting for you, and I will be delighted to have a look. Love you, Shin. Love you, Tracy. Love, love, love. Mwah. Love you, Gail. I will see you soon. Goodbye for now.